the Alps, Le Monde has the yellow jersey, but it's now Urs Zimmermann who is second and Hinault back in third. Day 2 in the Alps is the most unkind of all, with 3 of the highest passes. The Col de Galibier at 8,600 feet, the highest road in France. Then the road snakes its way up the Col de la Croix de Fer, another brute at 6,800 feet. And after only a brief rest before the final twisting agony of Alpe de Huez, a mere 5,800 feet. But on the glaciers here, you can ski all summer. Packed together, the field head off into the belly of the Alps, not knowing what the day will bring. For Le Monde, it will be his first test in yellow, and now his attention swings to the Swiss champion Zimmermann, just over 2 minutes back in second place. Zimmermann is now the biggest threat to the yellow jersey, but not far behind lurks the Badger. Is he thinking while he rides he can profit from the attention paid the other two? If they watch each other, perhaps Hinault will be able to slip away unnoticed. The mountains will hold the answers to these questions, and the spectators wait for the secrets to unfold. As the air gets thinner and the roads go higher, Hinault is still a force, and with typical panache, he teases Le Monde to take the lead. The mountains are a great leveller, but Hinault signaled to Le Monde that he won't be content to ride in this pack much longer. Bernard Hinault is like a time bomb ticking. The man who has won this race 5 times, the only question now is when is he set to go off?
Switzerland's Urs Zimmermann is a rocket on the high-speed descent in the Alps. Coming into the race, Zimmermann was 2:24 behind Le Monde and displays his unusual technique for playing catch-up. The climbers have now become daredevils, and the pace of the race has been dictated by how much risk one is willing to take. Strung out over miles, the pack of 143 takes on the look of a giant pinball machine run wild. Only rock walls and perilous cliffs, barely negotiable at 60 miles an hour. Off the front of it all, Bernard Hinault. Zimmermann in front of him, and manning the lead position, the yellow jersey, Greg LeMond, whose lust for greater speed has ensured him his position as the race leader. But at the bottom of the hill, the group collects itself, and the race begins all over again.
And while Greg LeMond rides close to Urs Zimmermann, the bomb explodes and Bernard Hinault launches into the attack. Pedaling a gear that many riders would use going only downhill, the Frenchman shows his real strength. It's left to Zimmermann to chase, but will LeMond help? And with the rhythm of a metronome, Hinault pushes home an attack he's clearly planned all day. Plays the perfect teammate and rides behind Zimmermann. But what's he thinking? Surely he remembers the road to Po a week ago when Hinault won the day by over 5 minutes. That margin now will cost Le Monde the Tour. Zimmermann is now sandwiched between 2 teammates. The Swiss rider is in isolation and tiring. While Hinault speeds ahead, Le Monde takes advice from his team car. And despite Hinault's attack, Le Monde seems strangely tranquil. Hinault, free again from the field, rides like the wind. His immediate ambition now is to gain time, and lots of it. And with the ski station of Alpe de Huez on the snow line, who says he won't? Zimmermann is now too tired, and Hinault's gained enough time to take second place. His next target will be the yellow jersey of Greg LeMond. And do you think Greg doesn't know that? Taking food on the move, the break is made, and Hinault settles into his rhythm. But a glance over his shoulder, and Greg LeMond is no longer with Zimmerman, but stimulated by the most coveted symbol in France. He joins Hinault on the attack, helped by his Canadian friend Steve Bauer. On the hardest day in the Tour de France, 3 members of the La Vie-Claire team have formed at the front, and both Hinault and LeMond are again playing the leading roles in one of the finest races for years. The route continues to wind its way over the Alpine peaks. This is a day for the strongest. And on the slopes of the Col de la Croix de Fer, the rocks blossom with people witnessing one of the finest battles between the world's 2 greatest riders. Swept aside by a private feud, Zimmerman knows dreams of being the first Swiss winner in 35 years are gone. While Bernard Hinault and Greg LeMond have proved beyond all doubt that they have no equals in this race. But the question now, neither of them yet know the answer to, is which one will be first to Paris. The climb of Alpe de Huez is still to come, and it may yet hold the answer. With a 4-minute gap already open today, these 2 men no longer have any other competition except each other.
Greg LeMond and Bernard Hinault, one unable to beat the other on the climb to Alpe d'Huez. They now choose to ride as one. Alone together in an arena that all at once engulfs them while not obscuring their superhuman strength. The roaring gauntlet greets these men, each of whom wants to win the Tour de France. But neither can do it alone. It was 1 year ago when LeMond helped Hinault win his 5th Tour. And later, LeMond, who burst into tears after realizing his unselfish act cost him a chance at winning the Tour de France. And it was a bruised and broken Bernard Hinault who, after having his yellow jersey saved by the American, pledged to help him, to be his willing team ally in this year's race. Today, here in the Alps, alone together, Hinault and LeMond had a yellow jersey between them, but this time, it was Greg's. And maybe it was gratitude, maybe a newfound friendship that carried the 2 across the mountaintop finish line, arms raised after obliterating the rest of the competition. Hinault received the official stage win, but it didn't matter because LeMond retained the yellow leader's jersey. No one knew quite what to make of what had happened on the way to Alpe d'Huez. But one thing was certain. Bernard Hinault was now the one and only challenge to the yellow jersey.